Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and what we're going to make today is I've got a lot of little scrap pieces of material and then little scrap pieces of lace and little tiny flowers and a lot of little buttons. So we're going to put it all together and make some little tabs. These are going to be called tabs. Looks like I didn't glue my little bow down here. You could make snippets out of this, but I'm going to make mine a little bit more triangular and make them tabs to go on my journal. Let's just say, let's see, let me find, journal. Now, I have finished this journal, and evidently the girl that wanted it, she hasn't contacted me back, so I'm not sure if she still wants it or not. But if you're watching, make sure you contact me to let me know if you still want it. If not, then I'll put it up in the store. So see, you could glue it right there and have it a little tab. I just think they're super cute. Do it like that. Make a little tab. They're really pretty. But I did finish this one up. I'll flip through real quick. I'm not going to take a long time. Got a tab in there, or a tag in there, tag there, tag there. Put some of my stamping on there. And I've got little Tim Holtz cards in here, and those two little pockets. Tim Holtz cards in here, pocket here. That's writing space. Pocket here with a Tim Holtz card. And then a pocket here with a big tag that I made. Pocket here with, this is a backing from a ephemera pack. And I just backed that with some good paper and then put that in there to be journaled on. Oh, I got that one upside down. I need to turn that one. I put, on some of them, I put just writing paper so that you could do some writing. I need to turn that around. This one has a little flip down and it just goes up under that little button. And you've got a little pocket here, and then you've got some pockets here that I just tucked some little tickets in. And then it just slides right back up under that little button to keep it closed. And then there's that with your, it's got a little tag right there that you can write on, and then some, you could put a label or something there. This has got a little pocket here, a little piece here that looks like it's burned, and then here's a little piece that I stamped and tore, and I just tucked it in behind that little ticket that I made. And here's two pockets. It's a pocket here that I've got some pieces of ephemera in. Two pieces of Tim Holtz ephemera. This is just a little piece that I punched out. One of our little doilies and a little flower in the middle. A pocket Tim Holtz tag. I left this for journaling because you could write on that very well. This is that page that we made in the video the other day where the pockets are down through here and you put your tags in that way. And then more writing space there. And then here is a pocket. I did cover up the upside down camera. So you have a pocket here. And then you've got a pocket there with a tag in it. You've got a pocket here that has two tags and then a little ticket book that I clipped right there. And let's see. Here's a little, that's the back side of that envelope. It's a little pocket and it has a little envelope tucked down in there with a tag in it. And then this piece folds out for journaling, folds back up. It's a butterfly that I stamped with that stamp that I did. And then here's the back, put that on there. This is just a piece of chipboard from packaging. I put that on there, piece of the paper that I had left, and then spring. And then I filled these little things with the seam binding from my scrap cabin on Etsy. That pretty. So anyway, that one will be up. If the person that asked about it doesn't still want it, then that one will be up in the store. So this is what we're going to make today. I needed some of these. I didn't have any, so I thought we would whip some together. And they're all going to be different. There's not going to be any two alike. So let's start out with a piece of paper. Let's start out with a piece of material. And what I like to do is put maybe a darker one down and then one that's a little bit lighter on top of it. And then come back in with just a little piece of trim. And you can come back in with two pieces of trim if you want. It doesn't matter. This is something that you're making, so you can make it any way that you want. See, I'm going to put another little piece over the top of that. And then on top of here, you can either put a little flower, you can put a bigger flower, or you can put a button. Stitch a button on there. You can do lots of different things on the top, or you could put even a little piece of ephemera. Let's see, let's find something. You could put a little piece of ephemera on there. Maybe put it down here, then put your button over here, something like that. I think I'll do that, as a matter of fact. Now this button has a piece of wire in there. Okay, we managed to get that out. Now I just put a little drop of glue right in the middle of everything when I get started. You can stitch across these if you want, or you can just glue them down. Either way works. I put a little drop, and then now when you're putting paper on top of your fabric, I put a little bit more adhesive on there because sometimes it doesn't want to stick well. So I put a little bit more and I press that down well. Let me grab my tool here. And then for the button, normally I just stitch my button on it. I don't put any glue in there because your needle it's tough to get your needle through glue. So I've got a needle that's already threaded here, and this is just some cotton thread. It's a double ply. And I'm going to put that little button right up there. And then we'll just stitch them on, just like you would stitch a button on a shirt. Or and I say that like everybody knows, but my daughter has no clue. She brought one of her husband's shirts over here one day and said, not Melina, the other one, said, "Mom, can you stitch this button back on?" I said, "Baby girl, surely to goodness I showed you how to stitch a button on when you was growing up." But evidently I didn't, or either she just didn't retain that information. So like that, I just go back and forth, and then I flip it over to the back and just run your needle up under some of that fabric, or just the other stitching, and then make a little loop and pull that tight, and that's done. So there is one quick and easy. I love making these little things out of scraps that I have left. Let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, this piece is pretty. I'll tell you, let's make one a little bit bigger. That one's going to be even larger, isn't it? So I know I want to put this down with that. And you don't have to put a solid down on top of it. You could put anything down that you want. They all look pretty regardless of whether they completely match or not. Believe me. They do. Let's see. Let's put a little bit of brown on top of that one. I just needed to do some crafting today that didn't tax my mind too much, because speaking of taxes, I'm having to work on taxes today. So I needed to do something that didn't do too much to my brain, because my brain is fried already. I hate tax time. Okay. So put that there. Now, I think on this one, I think one of these might look good. What do you think? It's kind of pink, and that's kind of, this is kind of red, and that's kind of pink. Maybe not. All right, let's see what this, I don't mind that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and glue that down right in the middle. And I just cut around these with my pinking shears. And they don't have to be cut straight. You can cut them any way that you want. They don't have to be straight. Now, I don't have a lot of different colored buttons. I did have a ton of them, but my daughter confiscated those. And it's just something about putting a button on these that I like. I don't know what the button does, but I don't know. It just keeps them from looking kind of plain to brings them out, brings the colors out. Let's do a blue one. Now I know there's some of you that's going to say, okay, you've done one, so I've seen it all. And that's okay if you don't want to watch anymore. I understand. But I just try to do all of mine a little bit different. Plus, I need to talk to you guys. Don't leave me hanging when I need to talk to you. Okay, put a little bit of glue down. And like I said, if you just want to put these down a little bit and then take them to your sewing machine and stitch, that's good. That's okay too. You don't have to glue anything if you don't want to. I have a hard time holding everything if I don't glue it, but you may not. May not be a problem for you. Let's see. Let's try another little piece of ephemera. And these are from the Curator collection from Tim Holtz. I think we just got more of those in this morning, if I saw right. Okay, I'm going to go with that little blue one. And then we'll see if we've got a pretty button to put on there. Well, I've got a bright button, but that's too bright. What about that button? And I use my little mat because I don't like that glue getting all over my table. So I just put my little mat down. Let's see if we can put this button on this one. My glue's not dry. Normally I wait for the glue to dry. It's not dry at all, but I'm going to see if my needle will still go through there. And I usually just put a couple of stitches in it, and that's enough. And if you want to put something on the back of these, you can. If you are afraid they won't be stiff enough and you want to put a little piece of chipboard or something on the back, you could do that too. My glue is oozing. Alright, what else do we have over here? Let's do one with this. I like this. This is a piece of that material that we used when we did one of AJ's kits. Can't remember which one. I'm going to put that purplish down in the middle there. Then let's try a larger piece of lace maybe. But I know everybody has some little scraps of things that you could use. And you don't have to use material. If you don't have material, then use paper. You can do the same thing with paper. It doesn't have to be material. Okay. Then, let's see if we don't have a purple button. We've got brown buttons. No purple, so let's see what else we might have that would work on here. Someone sent me these, or part of these. Part of them came up from my stash. I don't think I've got one that has any purple in it, so that won't work. Maybe one of these little flowers. It's blue, but there's some blue in that background too. So we'll put that little flower there. And then what about just a little tiny button over there? But I need one that's a little bit darker because it doesn't show. There we go. Because this has got some brown in it back there. So let's just put that one on. Now this is the way that I like mine to look. You may not care anything about buttons or flowers or anything like that, so you can just do yours any way that you want. I just like including these on the edge of pages. I think it makes your journal look really pretty. Just going to put cross stitch like that on there. And then I'll go back under that. When I have my little loop right here, just run my needle back through that loop, and that ties a little knot at the end of that thread. And there we go. So you guys talk to me, tell me what's going on in your world. Let me know how everybody is. Let's do one with this. That's pretty, isn't it? Or maybe this one, that piece. That's pretty. And then just put a little piece of this on there. I'm going to grab my... Now, all of these pieces of material I went around with my pinking shears. Okay, let's do maybe a dark piece of lace. And you could just keep layering it up. You could put another piece of lace or another piece of material. Just keep layering it up like you want. Okay, that one down. And then I think I want to put a little thin piece of this lace on there. These are just some pieces of lace that I had used all but, you know, that little piece. I've got glue running down the side of my bottle, so I'm getting all that up. And see, you could take this to your sewing machine and just stitch right down through there if you wanted to. Usually I try to glue them pretty good, and then I don't take them to my sewing machine, but you could definitely do that. Now you could put a big button in the center if you wanted. Or you could put just a couple of small ones. A couple of small ones like that. Let's see, do we want any other? I did have some teeny tiny buttons too, and I really liked those. What about those three right there? I kind of like that. Okay, let's do it. And when the buttons have 4 holes in them, I do a cross stitch, and I just do one cross stitch, and that's it, because that's all that you need to hold it down, especially if you've got a good thread. Let's see. And then we'll put another one over here maybe. I had someone ask me, how in the world do you hit that hole for the button from the back side? And I said, well, normally if I put my thumb right over that button, that needle just comes right to my thumb, and so it goes in the right hole. I said, I don't know why, but that's just how I find it happens. Of course, I stick myself sometimes, but... And I don't always find it. Sometimes I punch around a little while before I do find it. Okay. So there is that. I think that's cute. But if you have little trinkets and things, that would look cute on this too. Just to do some little trinkets on there. Okay. So there is that one. And I'll have close-up photos at the end where you can see all of the close-up photos. Now, do you want to do one with just lace? What about if we do that? I don't know. Now, doing it with just lace, I don't know how it will hold up. But let's do that one, a double layer of lace. We can do a piece of this. This is a very old lace, and I'm hoarding it. And then maybe a piece of this. And you can put different colors of lace. I only had some scraps in these brown colors or the off-white colors, and then the white. So that's all that I had in my scraps, and I didn't want to cut up some bigger pieces. But you could always come back with some different colors in there if you wanted. And then I think, since this is all neutral, we can do this flower on there. Let me find out what side's what side. I have to clean my glue bottle off. Oh yeah, I like that. That's cute. And you can turn all your pieces different ways if you want. Lots of different things that you can do. Let's do another lace one. I like that one pretty well. Since I've got this much more lace of this, and this is from an old wedding dress many moons ago. Not mine, somebody else's. Mine's still in storage. Make that one a little longer, and then that one on there. I'm going to bring that one up just a little. And then I'm going to put a piece of this on there. Ooh, my fingers are sticky and now everything's sticking to me. And you could also put this together with hot glue. You don't have to use, this is Fabri-Tac, but you can put it together with hot glue if you want. All right, and then let's put another one of these. And this trim came in one of the E-Club kits, I think. Pretty sure it did. And see, that one is large enough that we could go ahead and add a button on there. We could go ahead and add a button on there. Now, if you don't sew and you just want to put a button on, you can do that too. You do not have to stitch your buttons on. You can just put a button down there and put some glue on it or behind it and put it down. Or if you want to run some string through it, run your string through it and then put it down. Either way, that doesn't matter. See, my button's on there now, and I didn't stitch it. All right, now let's use some scraps, and we'll make a long fabric snippet roll. These are really good to go on the side of your journals. And I'm just going to cut off about that big. Cut a little bit. Yeah, that'll be big enough. And this is just the backing for a paper pad. That's all that is. Now I'm just going to go ahead and make it the length. You can always cut it like you want it later on. And I'm going to start out by just putting a row of glue down through here. Because I will most definitely stitch this. I normally always do stitch my snippet rolls. And then this is some fabric. Put this piece there. And I'll just cut these in a little smaller portion. And since these are pretty large, I'm just going to cut them in half. Now you don't have to make this into a roll. You can just make it and let it be just a straight line if you want to. They call it snippet rolls, but sometimes I don't roll mine up because a lot of times when I roll them up, I have a hard time unrolling. Now I go down through here first and I put a layer of fabric. So I'm just grabbing fabric that I've been using that I already had cut up. Let's see. I want to put a little bit right here. And I'm just trying to alternate and find different colors. Not do all of them the same. Okay. So that's going to be the base. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do another layer of something else. Either you can do paper, you can do flowers, you can do labels, whatever you would want to put. Or you can do, if you feel like you don't have enough fabric in certain areas, like I need another little piece right there, and then maybe right here, then you can put more fabric down and then come back later on and do another layer of something else. Okay, now I think that's got most everything covered. Well, we've got a little piece right here that's not covered well. And I'm putting the bare minimum of glue on here. Now you can bring a layer of your seam binding, your crinkle seam binding. You can do a layer of that. I'm just putting what I've got right here. I don't have all seam binding. This is some, sorry silk. I'll get it out in a minute. Had to think. Okay, I'll put some sorry silk down through here. And another little piece of lace there. Now I'm just going to cut these pieces of lace smaller, and then I'm going to come back and put more lace down. So I'm just cutting them. It's just such a good way to use up some little scrap pieces of lace and trim. Okay, that looks like I have it. Okay, let's go ahead and remember, if you're going to stitch this, you don't have to worry about getting every little piece glued down. But if you're not going to stitch, then just make sure that you glue all of this down really well. Since I'm going to stitch, I'm not too worried about it. And you could also do this with hot glue. Won't hurt a thing. Will not hurt a thing. Lace is sticking to my fingers more than it's sticking anywhere else. Okay, I'm turning my little piece this way. I've got a couple more little pieces here, and I'm just going to go ahead and use them up just because they're sitting on my desk. That way all of my little scrap lace is used. Then if you want to, you can come back with a few of these flowers on there. And I'm just going to put a few. I'm not going to put a ton. Just going to do a few down through there. Let's see, about 5 maybe. Sometimes I had almost rather use hot glue on something like this. It dries so quick, and then I can go stitch. All right, I'm going to put one down there, and then we'll center these other ones up. Maybe one there. And there, and then one right there. There we go. Just going to give them a good press. And I think that is super cute. Now you can use it on the side of a page. Let's just say that this was your page. You could use it on the side of a page and glue it here and here and here and have it a tuck. Or you can cut pieces off and use it as little tabs. Now I'm going to stitch down the middle of this when it dries a little bit. I'm going to let the glue dry before I do. And then I may even come back and put a few buttons or a few of these little flowers in different areas once I stitch. I can't do that until I stitch because some of these flowers has got little jewels in the middle. But look at the photo at the end and you will see. I tell you what, let's just lay this one aside and we'll do another. I think I've got more pieces of lace here. We'll do one more while that one's drying, and then I'll try to stitch it and show you exactly what it looks like when it's stitched. Because I know some people don't wait around for the photos, and so that way you can see it when it's finished up. And I don't worry about the back of this. You could cover it if you want. I'm not concerned with it. Another thing, if you have scrap pieces of doily, anything like that, you can put that on here. Just going to go down the middle with a bead of glue. Pretty good bead, because we want to have lots of that on there so that we can start adding fabric. And if you think your pieces are too big, just cut them. Sometimes I cut them down, sometimes I don't. This one may be a little bit wider than the other one, but that's okay. Look, this one I will cut. This one can be actually 3 pieces. And this one. And there's a little white one. I'm just going to cut it in a triangle. Okay. Okay, that should be enough to go all the way down through here. I think I actually put that on upside down, but you know what? We're going to leave it. It doesn't matter. Nobody will know unless you tell them. Look how I cut that. That's wild. And we've got just enough fabric for maybe another little cluster, so that's good. Now I'm going to come down through again, and we're going to do some scrap lace all the way down through there. All right, I have a piece of this that's actually, it was off of a wedding gown too, I think. I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of that. That can go up there, it can go down here. Isn't that pretty? That's pretty material. Then I have a piece of this, and this was a scrap off of an old vintage tablecloth, I do believe. And I only have a few pieces of this. I forget about grabbing my tool, and I just try to use my fingers, and then my fingers get so sticky it won't work anymore. Okay, what else do we have here? I have a little piece of this eyelet lace, and I'm going to cut that gathered part off there because I don't want it. And put a piece there. I think we about got lace all down through there. Okay, since you jumped up there, you can go there. And put you right there. I don't want to put in there. I think that's going to be it. I'm going to put, I've got a couple of these little butterflies, and I'm just going to sit them down there. I think that's all that I have left of those, the little tiny ones. So I'm just going to stick them there. Okay, I like that. Now I'm going to take this other one. I think it's dry enough that I can stitch. Let me see. Yeah, it feels dry enough. I'm going to stitch it, and then I'll come back and show you how that's stitched, and then we may do something else on this one. I may just put flowers on this one, or maybe these little buttons. They're not very thick, so that would work. We'll see what I put on these. Right, we have both of them stitched down, and I probably stitched on this one way sooner than I should have. Now, let me go ahead and right here, and I'll tell you guys. I have a lot of people that ask me, what type of needle do you use? What is your sewing machine? What do you set it on? All of that. I use a Brothers sewing machine that I've had for many, many years. I use a regular needle. I don't use a heavy duty needle or anything. I sew through chipboard. I use a regular needle. I do space my stitches out when I'm sewing through chipboard or something heavy, just because I don't want the needle to break. And I do go very slow. Like stitching through this, I spaced my stitches out and I went slower. But as you can see, it's stitched very well. Not a problem. Down through there, I did a big wide zigzag. So that's what I do now. And then I've also had people say, well, don't the glue ruin your needle? Not that I can tell. I've had a needle in this machine for probably 1.5 years, and it's still going strong. So it doesn't, as far as I know, on mine. Now, I don't know. Different machines may react differently. I'm not sure. So you just have to, you just have to try yours and see what you can come up with. I mean, the worst that can happen is you're going to break a needle, and hopefully you have another needle that you can use. But that's going to be the worst that's going to happen. And, just wear a pair of glasses or safety glasses or something just in case you do break a needle, because you don't want it popping up in your eye. But other than that, that's it. I don't use anything special. Alrighty, what are we going to put on here? We're going to put flowers. Are we going to put buttons? Let's see. Let me grab my little basket of flowers here and see if we have enough that are kind of flat. We don't want to use any real thick ones. I think I've got enough that are flat like that. They only have a little bit of a bump in them that we could use. Like that. That's one. See, some of them's got that big bump in it, and I don't want to use those. Okay, I think that might be enough flowers. Ooh, look at that. I like that. So let's put these flowers down. I really, really like that. Now, if you don't have any of these little flat flowers, I know we don't have any in the store, but I'm thinking that you can get these little flat ones at like Hobby Lobby, or, you know, I don't like saying those words because that's one of our competitions, but we don't have any in the store right now. So, you know, if you want some, I think you can find them. You might even find some like this at Walmart. I mean, they're not expensive. Ooh, I like that. So that is super cute. I'm going to hold this one up and let you see. I can use that either for snippets, or I can use it for my, you know, just the edge of a page, and then be able to tuck something under there. So it can be a tuck spot, or you can clip them and have them little snippets. I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. I think that's all that we're going to do in this video. Let me pull these other ones back out. So all this is scraps. So pull all of those scraps out and let's get those going. I still have a few more little scraps that I'll probably go ahead and make more little snippet clusters out of, or tabs like this. I consider these tabs and not snippet clusters. But go ahead and pull all of your little pieces out and get started. Because believe me, they're fun to make, and you would be surprised how many you can turn out in just a short time. Look at this. I mean, some of these, yes, I did before the video, but not many. We did a lot of these together. Cool, cool, cool. Now I have got a bag full to use. Alright guys, that is our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We are trying our best. We have a goal set for ourselves to reach 100,000 subscribers by our anniversary. And our anniversary is June the 15th. We'll be married 49 years, I believe. June the 15th. So we've been married a long time. I've been married all my life. But I'm trying to do that. So if you know of anybody that you can share this with, and that maybe they haven't seen our channel yet, I would appreciate you hitting that share button and just suggesting it to your friends. That would make me very, very happy. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching, if you will go ahead and hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate it. And then just let me know in the comments below that you have subscribed. I would appreciate that. There are going to be some large giveaways when we reach 100,000 subscribers. Not going to tell you what they are, but believe me, they're going to be big. So make sure that you are a subscriber, because only subscribers are eligible to win. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.